Unless the alien is vastly different to us in respect of his lifespan, he could only have come from one of the nearer stars. He couldn't have come from a vast distance because the time would be far too long. If he is coming from one of the nearer stars, then we have a common semantic reference. Because if we take any of the familiar star patterns, such as the plough, which we have here, it is only after you have receded into space for a vast distance that this two-dimensional representation of what in fact is a pattern in depth of stars begins to look different to what it does to us on Earth. They would recognize this just as we do, and we can try representing this pattern in various different ways. If we put an ordinary Polaroid spectacle in front of a light source, which polarizes it in one direction, and then take a second one and rotate it in front of the first, you can cause the light to be modulated, made brighter or less bright, simply in this way. Now, this is a way in which an ordinary source of light might become a method of communication to an alien who is sensitive to polarized light. But perhaps he isn't sensitive to light in our ranges at all. Perhaps it's right down in the ultraviolet or even further. The luminous paint on watches gives off a hard radiation. Here we have a representation of the Big Dipper, the plough, made out of the faces of watches. To a being equipped with organs for its detection, it might represent a better picture of the source which we're trying to talk to them about than one which would be given by visible light. Some animals are sensitive to magnetic fields. We might try making a picture of our familiar galaxy using magnets instead of sources of light. It's even possible, in fact, that you might have to communicate by means of patterns of smell. One could, for example, remove these watches, which are sources of hard radiation, and replace them with onions, which are sources of a particular type of chemical molecule.